Good morning. Hope your Saturday is off to a good start and good weekend for you this fall weekend. And I appreciate you taking a few minutes this morning to look with me at the book of Proverbs and hopefully gain just a little bit of wisdom. Beginning in the 20th chapter, the 5th verse, we're going to look at some Proverbs that are um, a little different, I think. Solomon, one of the things that Solomon was known for was his ability uh, to really see into see past the outer uh, side, what the show of people, and get to the truth, get to their heart. And he's going to give us here some proverbs that I think one way of looking at them is to help us to be able to evaluate people and to understand people, and that's important. I know some people say, "Well, wait a minute, you're talking about judging?" No, what I'm saying is Solomon has been teaching now for some time to his young son, uh, be careful of the foolish man, and so we need to know some ways to evaluate people and to look at them and understand, is this a wise person I'm dealing with? Is this a foolish person I'm dealing with? And so, verse 5, he says, "Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out." Um, a couple things that stand out in that proverb to me. The word counsel, for one, talks about advice. And what he's saying is that I think it's pretty clear that man is complicated. They're like deep water. We've probably all experienced it, unfortunately, in our life, of someone who on the surface, maybe they pretend to be religious, but they're really not. They pretend to be your friend, pretend to be your best buddy in all the world, only to gain some information or end up taking advantage of you. Those kinds of things. They're really nice to you, so you'll trust them, and then they steal from you. People are complex. People are very unique. People who put on a smile when they are hurting inside. Again, all these things. That people are very complicated beings. I think all of us know that. But he says a wise man is able, a man of understanding will draw it out. And that's kind of where I want to focus on this verse. He will draw it out. A wise man knows, and it sounds very cold and distrusting, but a wise man knows to dig deeper, to to dig for those motives, to get past that the facade that they put on. Use the wisdom that God has given them. Trust their instincts. Trust their own experience. Don't be gullible. A wise man, he will ask questions. And again, a man of understanding, he will draw it out. And I think about that statement. It's not easy. You have to draw it out. And so I think there's a lot of meat there that Solomon's talking about. Be careful. Be wise in your interaction and your dealing with others. Many churches have gotten into serious trouble because they trusted people. Churches are notorious for that. Somebody comes along, they dress right, they talk right, they sing right, and next thing you know, we've given them We've put them in charge of the checkbook, or we've put them to work in a children's ministry, and not done our homework. And so it's extremely important that we draw it out, as Solomon says. Most men will proclaim everyone his own goodness, but a faithful man, who can find. Um, he says, most men are not going to walk up to you and say, "Hey, I'm a scoundrel." Um, they're going to proclaim his own goodness. He's going to tell you how good he is. And a lot of times it seems like the more someone talks about how good they are, the more nervous I get. And so he says, but the truth is, he says, a faithful person, an honest person, he says, they are rare. Verse 7, the just man walketh in his integrity, his children are blessed after him. Um, be a godly parent. Kind of a real shift of gears here. Have integrity with your children. Um, you know, don't it's bad to not have integrity at work, or at church or with your friends. He said, but be a man your children can trust. Be a man that your children can depend on. If you tell them you're coming to their ball game, um, if I mean, I understand, like everybody does, that sometimes things just happen. You have absolutely no control over. But if you promise your kids something, do everything in your power to carry it out. And then if you can't, explain to them. Be a man, a woman of integrity in the home. He says, a king that sitteth in the throne of judgment scattereth away all evil with his eyes. Um, so here he shifts a little bit to a different direction. He says it's a king's job, it's the leader's job, to be able, to judge and to measure integrity. Leaders need to be very aware of what of the motives of those who they lead. And again, that's extremely important, whether you're the president or whether you're the manager of a business, that we don't allow our employees, or those, again, our citizens, whatever position we hold, that we're careful we're very careful that we don't allow evil, we don't allow wickedness to grow in our organization. That as the leader, we bring justice, we have integrity, and we expect it in our people as well. And so Solomon, to me, when I read this, what Solomon, I think the thing that strikes me is Solomon's talking about seeing and understanding integrity and motives in others. But what I hear him saying, first of all, is you got to have integrity yourself. You have to have right motives. You have to be a wise man to be able to spot it and to know it in others. We need to pray this prayer today, as we go about our life. God, give me that understanding that Solomon talked about, that I can understand, that I can know the difference, that I can spot wickedness and foolishness and righteousness, and that I will be able to tell the difference, and let me live and be an example of the integrity that I desire in others. Think about that today, and hope you have a good weekend. We'll see you back here next time.